Ranked play in Vanguard's finally here, baby. Let's go. And today we're talking about ranked play 101 in Vanguard and everything that beginners need to know before they play or when they start playing, because there's definitely a learning curve with competitive CoD, and to climb the ladders with this new elo system, you gotta help your team to win games. So without further ado, guys, we have a lot to get into today, so let's roll it, baby. Let's go. All right, so like I said, now that we have elo, winning is everything. And so we're going over the basics of competitive CoD. Let's start off with communication, because undoubtedly in ranked play, in competitive, it is the foundation of success for so many great teams. And so even when you're playing by yourself, you're gonna wanna have your microphone on playing ranked play, especially, I mean, come on, like in Search and Destroy, there's so much information to be gathered around the map, and you'll be at a massive disadvantage if your team doesn't have mics and their team does. So make sure to contribute with your mic on if you wanna actually level up and improve your SR in ranked play. So at the basics, counting kills is so important in this game. Tracking kills because of how squad spawns work. And I'm gonna be plugging a lot of different videos on my channel currently in this video, so be prepared. I'm sorry already. I'll link them all in the description as well. But I have a video on squad spawns, breaking them down and how they work. Counting kills in this game with your team and just you individually from the kill feed is crucial to identify if players have snuck through to flip spawns in Hardpoint, or whether or not a guy is in your spawn inside control, or even in Search and Destroy, to understand the tendencies of which players are still alive, and getting a better idea of which players like to be where on the map can be massive. And it's legitimately a skill in ranked play, because the team or the players who are able to kind of dial in on the opposing team's tendencies faster are gonna have a massive advantage in the game. So make sure to count names in the kill feed and count how many people are dead, and keep track of that with your team and just with yourself as well. And we'll also be defining a handful of terms in this video as well for the beginners out there. Like a word you're gonna hear a lot is small talk inside of competitive CoD. And that can mean a lot of things, but it's basically the small things in the communication around the map. So whether it's like you have an AR and your teammate in front of you has an SMG and you're like, yo, teammate, I've got your left, or I'm holding your left, or I'm holding the doorway, or I'm holding your top, I'm watching this line of sight, that means you're holding it. And that's a pretty important type of communication to really help you and your teammates organize yourselves when you're trying to break hard points, push towards bomb sites, or whatever it is, control zones as well. That's crucial. Obviously, there's so much more when it comes to communication, and I have a Communicate Like the Pros video out. That was from Cold War, but all of those things are still absolutely relevant even today in Vanguard. So I recommend checking that out, link in the description. And then in S&D, of course, if you're playing Search and Destroy in ranked play, you've got to have pre-round plans. And so make sure you have a plan. Don't just say, yo, let's go A. You know, that's not a plan. That is the beginning of a plan, but like take control in your rank play match. Say, yo, I'm going A. I need somebody to watch my outer. I need somebody to watch mid. Yo, other SMG, come with me. Let's hit this together. Like some sort of plan that actually means something and that there's something that the team can kind of organize around. That's crucial. And then also communicating when you're going to rotate bomb sites, what you're seeing and what you're not seeing. And then S&D as well. I mean, like when bombs go down, just communicating like, yo, I planted for mid. I planted for our spawn. I planted for their spawn, which means you're planning on which side of the bomb site are you planning on? Like, let's say it's on Tuscan and you plant on the side that's towards the middle of the map. You'd be saying, yo, I'm planning for mid. I'm planting for top fire. So you can actually set up on that bomb site. There's just all those types of small communications that can be the difference in a round. And it's important to integrate that into your game. So the next basic of League play and of Call of Duty as a whole is trading kills. And this is a term that you're gonna hear a lot, and you probably have already heard it before. Even a lot of beginners have heard this, but basically what a trade of a kill is that let's say you and your teammate are running in, your teammate runs in, you're behind him, and your teammate gets killed by a guy inside the hill. Then you go into the hill and kill the guy who killed your teammate. That means you just traded your kill. And so you're gonna be hearing people say, yo, get my trade, or communicating like, yo, I've got your trade. That means that person's following you in, positioning yourself on the mini map to be able to trade other people's kills, or positioning yourself so that other people can trade your deaths is actually crucial as well. You know, increase your odds of trading the kills. You can also bait, which is shoulder peeking, and sliding out and jumping out is more often done by SMG players. So like if you're like shoulder peeking and then sliding out to draw out enemy fire, and then the AR peeks from the side that he just slid from and then kills the player, that'd be a bait and switch type play. So that minimap awareness is like Call of Duty 101, and playing as a team and understanding untradeable lines of sight is so important. The next thing up here is movement, and shocker, I made another video called Move Like the Pros. That video is still completely relevant, rock and rolling from the beginning of Vanguard. And that link's down in the description as well. I mean, movement is everything. And so you want to be slide canceling, you want to be bunny hopping, and you want to be cameraing, which is sliding around corners quickly to camera your opponents. And then, you know, there's also snaking in there, you know, the king of snaking. Phase up, you can do it too. And we'll see what happens. Next thing here is aiming. Really, when a lot of pros talk about aiming, or when you're hearing about aiming, it's really about centering. And again, I have a video from Cold War about centering, link in the description down below. But centering is basically keeping the middle of your screen where the enemy is most likely to be next when you're going around corners. So when you're going around a corner, you're already putting the middle of your screen on where the next corner is going to be. And so you're really coming around corners pretty tight with the center of your screen, and always keeping the center of your screen in a place where an enemy could be or is most likely to be. So it takes some anticipation, it takes some game knowledge, and it also just takes a little bit of a thumb skill as well. So that's crucial and kind of the basics of winning a gunfight in Call of Duty, pairing that with movement, positioning, and anticipation. Next thing here for terms is gonna be gentlemen's agreements. And you're gonna hear this the higher you get up the ladder in ranked play. And gentlemen's agreements are attachments or things that the pros have agreed together to collectively to not use, even though they're not officially banned in the rule set. And ranked play just came out. Treyarch announced that they're gonna be trying to adhere to a lot more of the pros' gentlemen's agreements. So that's pretty exciting. But even right now, there still are a handful of these attachments, like the short barrel on the MP40 and things like that are GA'd by the pros that aren't currently in the rule set. So hopefully some of those things continue to get updated. But I talk about all those things in the pro loadouts video that I just posted yesterday, right when ranked play dropped. So make sure to check that out as well. Links down in the description, of course. And then we go to game modes. Obviously, Hardpoint, S&D, Control, and shocker, I have an S&D 101 video down below. I'm really shilling this. I'm sorry guys, this is a sellout video. S&D 101 video down in the below where I go through everything about the fundamentals of search and destroy, and that's pretty fire. And then I have a Hardpoint 101 video coming out right after this actually, so or pretty closely after this. So be on the lookout for that video. And then a Control 101 video will be coming out very soon as well. So be on the lookout. Obviously, search and destroy, they're all very different, but Hardpoint's about winning spawns and maintaining map control and anticipating trades and keeping track of where the opposing team is on the map currently and where players are spawning. And so spawn knowledge is important. Understanding if you're spawning here, more than likely they're spawning over there, and understanding which spawns are important and great for which hills, because you got to win your rotations to the new hill. So that's absolutely crucial and truly are the basics of Hardpoint 101. And we talk about a lot of that in the video, and we go through all the Hardpoint rotations with pro setups in that video. So be on the lookout for that one. So now let's get into maybe the most important topics, understanding exactly the flow of the game. And this is across all three game modes even, especially inside of Respawn. And that's kind of the roles or the jobs of Call of Duty or in Call of Duty. And again, I have a video on the roles of Vanguard, it links down in the description, where I talk about all of this really in depth. But realistically, there's positions, which a lot of people refer to as the roles of Call of Duty, which is an SMG, a main SMG, and then a flex, where depending on the map, you might run an SMG or an AR, and then a main AR, a player who only runs in AR. So in a team environment, that makes a lot of sense. But in a random ranked play lobby, it's more important to know about the jobs of COD and the things that have to happen around the map for a team to win. So let's talk about that specifically in Hardpoint, but realistically across even in Control as well. So there's a big difference between the skills of COD and the jobs of COD. Skills of COD is like your gun skill, communication, awareness, anticipation, positioning, play calling, reaction time, clutch ability, all of those things that are like the skills of Call of Duty. But the roles of COD are the things that have to happen around the map, the jobs that have to happen around the map. So that's like trading kills. And then there's rotating for the new spawns inside of Hardpoint. And sometimes people refer to that as being the route man, as a guy who's more likely to rotate. But like realistically with rotations is that there's not one guy that does it. This is a opportunistic situation that around like that 25 second, 30 second mark, somewhere between 30 and 20 seconds, you got to start thinking about the next hill already, depending on if you have spawns or if the other team has spawns, and you've got to consider that. So rotating for the new spawns is absolutely a job that has to be done. You got to secure those new ones. So then you got to play the OBJ, or someone has to be in the hill. And pro teams generally have one guy who's more likely to be in the hill, but it depends on the setup that they have. And every pro team has a handful of different setups that they're very comfortable with for every single hardpoint hill. So one player might be more likely to be in the hill, and depending on the hardpoint, it could be an AR or an SMG. Like on Gavutu, an AR is probably more likely to be on the hill, like on like a turret hill or something like that. But you also need to pick up an SMG to kind of finesse in there. So it just kind of depends on the hard point. And there's much more nuancey things on the maps for that type of a decision. The most important job around the map is pushing up and slaying for map control and creating map control by slaying and manipulating spawns. And all of that comes from slaying, which is what people say is a role of Call of Duty, which it absolutely is. But again, it's a thing that everybody has to do on the map when they have the ability to find a kill. You get 3 kills dead, so the enemy 3 dead. That means you're pushing up the map to try to force their spawn out farther, and then you're creating more map control, giving your team more ability to die and then respawn up and still have the hill. So map control is always crucial and important in winning Call of Duty. And then of course, like holding the spawns, so making sure that you have map control and aren't losing your spawns, and then blocking spawns when trying to break a hill. So like Gavutu is a classic example in this map where you can like look towards the back of the map and block the spawns, flip them out behind you, then you push up and break the hill together. That's a classic pro move right there. You know, blocking the spawns, which is literally just looking at the area where the spawns are most likely to be, which then blocks the spawns and spawns out the opposing team. That's important to do whenever you're trying to even break hills. Then of course you're trying to pick up your flanks and watching flanks, especially in search and destroy, or even in hardpoint or control, that's crucial. But S&Ds where that's highlighted specifically, where someone's kind of gotta continually watch that flank and pick it up every so often to make sure someone's not sneaking through. And then playing for trades is always in there as well. So again, check out that video for a really in-depth breakdown of all of those jobs of Call of Duty, specifically with examples inside the roles of Vanguard video. But that's the gist of it, to say the least. And then of course, overall in ranked play, you got to have the right classes and loadouts. So shocker, I have a video that just came out on the pro loadouts and gentlemen's agreements in ranked play. So make sure to check that out. Links down in the description as well. And then I also have a ton of videos on this channel about how to actually get better like the pros. And that's a video that's just coming out right after this one. So be on the lookout for that, because I really think that's important to get in the right practice and improve. And if you want to actually get better at the game while playing, you got to understand how to approach the game and what to do to get better. And that's what that video is helping you do. So hopefully this video gave you a bunch of resources to improve and understand how ranked play works. Overall, ranked play is awesome. I mean, winning games increases your elo, which puts you in a higher skill division, which I think is really cool. It's the best ranked play system that we've seemed to have had ever in Call of Duty, which is really cool. And so there'll be a lot more videos coming out here on the channel talking about how to get better and improve and all of those things to help you guys and myself get better at the games. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Check out this video right here. It's a banger, undoubtedly. And guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace.